Okay, guys. So the next technical skill that I'd say will really help with improving your efficiency is the use of multiple screens. So I have it set up here now that I've got screen 1, 2, and 3. I think you saw both examples here. I was able to switch back and forth. The reason why that's helpful is that we'll go over using a reference manager, but it allows you to kind of keep things, up at one time versus going back and forth between windows on a single screen. It's not always doable for everybody, and some people can actually be distracted by having multiple screens, but I always feel my most productive with at least 2 screens, preferably 3 screens, which is the setup that I'm using to present to you guys. So the use of multiple computer screens, again, just to have your document up on one side that you're writing on, and then your reference manager, at least having that set up so you can go back and forth really easily between between the two to keep things efficient and flowing. Okay. Now, the other that I'd recommend as well is the use, like I mentioned, of a reference manager. I think it goes without saying most people are very familiar with what's out there now. Some people use EndNote, some people use Zotero. I'm a Mendeley person. I've been a Mendeley person since I started my PhD. Actually, I think even going back to residency, and that's just the one I stuck with, right? So most people are that way. One is not better than the other. I think Mendeley is free. I think Zotero may be free as well. EndNote, most universities cover. Whatever works for you is fine. I'll just show you how I kind of organize my reference manager. So we'll pull this up here and let's share screen. Pull this here. Sorry about that. And we will share screen 2. Okay, great. So you guys can see here, we've got our, my reference manager here. This is Mendeley. It's kind of what you'll see when you pull it up. The great thing about it is you can organize things by project. So every paper that I write, I put into a folder. And even sometimes I'll put sections within folders. So I think we had one here for an LVAD paper. We talked about different areas, and rehab for patients with LVADs, or introduction, different things about LVADs, different things about the cardiac rehab model. So there's a lot of different things that you can do using Mendeley or any reference manager to stay organized. You're also able to save your PDFs directly in there too if you download it from a website. And it's super easy to find. You can search. Let's pull up some stuff by me, by author names or our different papers, right? And it's, they'll all have an automatic plugin. So I'll show you guys an example. Let's go stop share. Great. We'll go to, let's pull up a blank document. We'll go share screen. We'll go to share screen 1. And you'll see there's the utility of it. So we'll go, test. I'll add in my reference. Let's go insert citation, and it'll pull this up. I can just search by the last name or the title of the paper if I want. So here's some stuff, it'll start querying name or papers with my last name. If I put in like obesity, a bunch of stuff saved in there. So it's everything that's saved on your individual Mendeley account. So it's not the entirety of Mendeley. So let's just put one here. Cite. That's what paper we wrote about. Actually, the one we have with that outline example. And we'll go okay. And you have every different type of formatting. So this is Vancouver format, which I use for a different journal. I can switch this to AMA. I can switch this to APA. I can switch this to MLA, anyone you want, right? And the great thing about it is if I, just for example, just want to put in my bibliography, insert bibliography, great. It'll automatically update too with the plugin that you use in Word. So let's do a different sentence. So we'll go, let's go physical therapy. Therapy is great. And we'll put in citation from Severin. Great. Severin. All right, let's put in that one. Great. And then we'll hit OK. It'll automatically update the number of references within text, right? So the order, and then in my bibliography. So I know some people like, maybe we're accustomed to hand individually referencing stuff. That's going to drive you insane. I strongly recommend like getting a reference manager. It will make that process so much easier on you. One of the biggest things with writing is just, putting time into things that require time, which is writing. Putting time into managing your references is not an efficient use of your time. So again, efficiencies where things can be shorter, right? Because you're assuming that some things are just going to take longer, which is the actual writing, right? We want to spend our time on that and energy on that. The other really valuable thing about Mendeley, let me pull up some examples here, is, move this over here. Pull this up, is this feature here, where you're able to automatically import references. So I have this plugin here, the web importer, that allows me to automatically pull in references straight from Google Chrome. So I'll put it in there and it'll automatically show up on my reference manager. So here, sorry, this icon here. Oops, sorry, not the M, right there. A lot of different reference managers have a similar feature. This is just an example of what you have for Mendeley. You can also take the reference directly from PubMed too. Just some people aren't aware of this, you can download the NBib file. Let's just pull this up. And then when I go to Mendeley, let's go stop share. Or actually just share to screen 2. If I want, I can then add a reference manually. Share. I'll show you here. So add manually. Oops, sorry, not manually. Add a file. Add a file. There, it showed up. Open, and it'll automatically load in. And then to see where it went, we'll go to recently added. There you go. Oh, actually, might have already had this one in. So that's that's Mendeley in a nutshell using a reference manager. Again, highly useful. Highly recommend utilizing it just to manage. Again, something that can be very time consuming, but with this little tool can be very efficient, so you can save more time for the actual writing.